OnePlus 12 versus iPhone 15 Pro Max speed test. Let's begin with a boot up in 3, 2, go and see which one can get there first. Now, the OnePlus 12 it's just a great deal, man. $799 for a flagship tier phone, $899 for 16 gigs of RAM and 512 GB of storage. That is absolutely crushing the 15 Pro Max in value. But the iPhone 15 Pro Max turns on just a hair quicker. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is in here. This is my first comparison with the A17 Pro and a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 speed test. And we also have 8 gigs of RAM on this iPhone Adreno 750 Apple in-house 6-core GPU. Now, when it comes to unlocking these phones, you can face unlock the OnePlus, but the fastest method or the most secure method is going to be the fingerprint. So right there. So I do think the fingerprint is actually faster than Face ID. It's definitely snappier. OnePlus's unlocking has been faster than iPhone for years. And over here you still have the Face ID, which is very flawless as well. However, you know, you're gonna have to raise to wake for a little bit faster like that. But there's just that little delay between, you know, having to swipe. So if Apple can bring a way to, you know, bypass the swipe to unlock, that would make it a little bit faster. I don't know if they'll do that due to their heavy thoughts about security and privacy and how they want everything really locked down, which is a really good thing. I'm not bashing them. I'm just saying I don't know if they'll ever bring the bypass the swipe part like Samsung does. But definitely faster to unlock on the OnePlus. Now, in terms of the software, we are running the Oxygen OS 14 on board here, and this is 14.0 with Android version 14.0. You can see Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 right there. This is 16 gigs of RAM, so incredibly powerful phone right here in the OnePlus. And then over here we do have the Apple A17 Pro chip. This is coupled on 17.3, the iOS 17.3 version. It just got launched yesterday with 8 gigs of RAM. I do feel like 8 gigs of RAM on an iPhone is more like 12 on an Android phone. And scrolling through here, you'll see that the OnePlus is just super smooth, man. This phone has got this nailed down. And the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 and this latest phone that just got launched, this phone right here is probably the smoothest Android phone I've ever used. If you hit medium animations, they also have this like buttery smooth look where like the animation's just super smooth and it looks really clean. So I just wanted to mention that. So for the app test, I will put the animations on fast though, so keep that in mind. And we already know iOS is pretty smooth. However, I think OnePlus matches them here. Even on the home screens, the general user interface, it actually might be even smoother. It's matching it or smoother. So it's definitely, this is one of those phones that if you really like that buttery smooth iOS feel, they've got them pretty much matched here on the OnePlus now. Okay, so everything is closed out for both phones. Let's go ahead and go into Calendar. You could see faster on the iPhone. That could be because Google Calendar is more of a cloud-based. Let's go into Calculator. Faster animation on the OnePlus. We'll head up out of there. Clock. Faster animation slightly on the OnePlus is what I've seen. Let's go into World Clock. We'll go to Stopwatch. Pretty close on those. Let's go into weather. And was that the OnePlus? I think it was. And if I call these wrong, call me out. I mean, you guys get some people just get too serious about this. Like, it's not that serious. But the OnePlus definitely opened up the apps first. Let's go into games. Faster on the left. And I'm telling you, I've been using this phone for over a week now, a couple weeks actually. The OnePlus is an impressive machine for that price. This thing is, you know, half the cost of the iPhone and it runs faster. It's literally similar in terms of the minimal feel. We got to do this one again. That wasn't ready. Let's go ahead and close these out. We'll go ahead and run Groupon again. But in terms of the minimal feel, the speed, it's better than the iPhone actually. Let's go into Twitter, X. And I don't usually say that, but man, Android is having its moment. Like these past like year, they've been having their time. You know, they're finally catching up. Let's go into Instagram. I don't think it's necessary that they're like blowing away or, you know, blowing away the iPhone in any way, shape, and form. I think it just shows more Apple's reluctance to change. Let's go into eBay, as in they don't really change the icons. They don't change the experience that much. And they don't really care too much to change up, the overall experience. It seems like the same product every year. And I think the Android products that are coming out are really just showcasing that. It's making it very obvious. So basically all Apple would have to do is work on a little bit, more software experiences, a little bit different, a little bit more fresh, maybe up the animation speed a little bit just to make it the faster phone again. And I don't know if they'll do that, but at the same time, they still have one of the fastest chips out there in the A17 series chip. So when it comes to actual sheer performance optimizations, the vast amount of resources they have teams that can get this software updated very quick. The iPhone experience is still sitting at the top of the game when it comes to the actual chipset. Let's go into Jetpack. But here's the thing. It was kind of embarrassing to be a $1 trillion company and look, Jetpack didn't load first by far on the OnePlus. It's kind of, crazy to be that big of a company and then have heat management issues on your top tier phone. It's like, really? The OnePlus device has some amazing heat management. Definitely. I haven't had no heat issues with it whatsoever. And that's even when you're running heavy games. And it has a massive battery. So come on, Apple. Next one, can we please get really good heat management? And you've seen what Samsung did with the S24 Ultra, bringing that bigger vapor chamber. So Android's having their moment. I have to be honest. I love the iPhone experience. It's definitely one of my favorite out there for sure. But I cannot just sit here and act like nothing's happening over here on this side, because really they've been working hard over here at OnePlus. They've been working hard at these other brands as well, just trying to get these phones to be smooth and fast. You can see the iPhone's still winning though when it comes to heavier games, when it comes to gaming right there in terms of loading them. Let's go into Geekbench 6. It's faster on the OnePlus. And let's get up out of there. But the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, man, it just takes it to the next level. Compared to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, it's like better than that. I don't even know how it got better, but it feels a little bit more refined, a little bit faster, snappier. And really the main thing is it has better efficiency, because I've noticed the battery life is longer than Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 phones, and the actual performance stays more less heat. So just the overall efficiency is better. Let's go into Asphalt 9 to wrap this up. And I honestly think after using both of these phones, I literally feel like, yes, well, the iPhone's a little bit quicker with this launching games. It has A17 Pro chip. I just feel like the OnePlus is such a better deal for the price. But you have to the software. You have to 4 years of updates. You have to the way things operate over there. Similar if I was doing a Samsung comparison, you gotta the One UI. If you don't, and everything is tied up in this ecosystem, Apple still has a top tier phone as well. So I love both, but here in this test, I think the animations are a little faster on the OnePlus. I think Apple is still loading the games a little quicker, and maybe for some sheer performance stuff, Apple might win, but we're gonna see if that's the case, because I'm gonna run a Geekbench 6 here, and we'll check that CPU first. Let's go ahead and run that thing. 3, 2, go. And the final Geekbench 6 results are in, and you can see, I don't know what's up with the score right here on the single core on the left, but this really doesn't dictate anything in the actual performance. This is probably because this app is not optimized for the OnePlus 12 that just got launched, but you can see, and I'm not making excuses, I'm just saying that, I only put these results and numbers in here because people want to see them, but other than that, they don't really mean much to me. Let's go into 3D Mark, but the iPhone, I'm not going to say it didn't, it blew away the OnePlus in that test in the Geekbench 6. It was also done quite a bit faster. Now we'll go ahead and run a Wildlife Extreme test, and I'll be back when they are done. Okay, so in Wildlife Extreme, this is what I'm saying. Maybe this app was more updated for OnePlus. A ridiculous 4914 score with an average frame rate of 29.43. With that gaming engine, this is one of the top gaming phones out there for sure. You'll see right here, scores better than 93% of other devices and easily beating the 15 Pro Max Over here in the GPU, 3752 with more than 7 frame rates per second higher. So in the actual graphical performance, the OnePlus should take down the 15 Pro Max, but the CPU bench in the Geekbench score took down the OnePlus for the iPhone. So maybe we got CPU winner on the right, gaming performance GPU winner on the left. Anyway, let's go ahead and I'm gonna use my Android guy for today. Let's go ahead and open up the cameras here. I'll go ahead and close them out since they were already opened. Oh, they weren't actually opened already. So let's just go ahead and open those out in 3. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? Let's do this again. 3, 2, go. Looks like the OnePlus had that. I'm gonna do it again just because I accidentally tapped it beforehand. 3, 2, go. Yeah, the OnePlus a little faster there. Let's see the shutter speed. About the same. Switching lenses. Hold up. Let's see right here. Let's go to the 6 and the 5. Looks like the iPhone switches the lens a little bit nicer. Other than that though, very similar in the cameras as well. Although you do have yourself the double click to get into the camera on the OnePlus. So that's nice, but you can now use the action button on the iPhone to also get into the camera. So it's got its little neat trick as well. At the end of the day, I really feel like these phones are pretty much neck and neck, even though Apple wants like $500 more for this phone. So it just feels like if you're looking for a flagship killer, a great deal of a phone, basically a phone that offers you flagship level performance, specs, and even better in some areas for several of hundreds of dollars cheaper, the performance shows in this speed test that the OnePlus should be at the top of your list. It's exciting that we're getting back to those days where you can get an $800 OnePlus and have performance that rivals $1,000 plus phones. So that's quite nice. And they also have the 12R that was announced. So you have an even cheaper option with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 with tons of RAM. So we'll have to speed test that one as well. So stay tuned for that. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Nick here. Be sure to be well and peace.